This is Spirit Spotlight.
Bethune cuts in. Bethune now finds Rodman. Flag stays down. Rodman off the post and in. The first shot of the game produces the first goal of the game, and the Spirit go on top.
Your official Washington Spirit source for exclusive interviews, official postgame show, and all things Spirit throughout the season. Here's Bram Weinstein.
Here with Casey Krueger. First off, congratulations, you're going back to Paris. Mm-hmm. So that must be an incredible experience to go represent the United States again.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a huge honor. It's hard to describe the feelings, but it's a dream, and I am just so excited to get there and to help the team be as successful as possible.
When was the first time you played internationally for the United States?
Oh gosh, that was back in 2016. Yeah. That was my first cap after the 2016 season. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how long it's been already at this point, but you know, it doesn't get old. It's not something I take lightly ever.
And so how do you think about it this time? There's 8 years later. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of experience with this now. Can you go back to 2016 and remember what it was like to do it the first time to now where you're a veteran on our international team?
Yeah, it's an interesting, feeling because it's technically my first, major tournament roster that I've made. So I kind of feel like a newbie in that sense. But at the same time, I've been playing with them since 2016. So I'm technically kind of a veteran as well. So I'm just kind of figuring out my role a little bit and what I can bring. But I can instantly go back to that feeling and remember how I felt when I first put on the crest. And I think it's going to be a similar feeling this time as well.
And it's something you don't take for granted, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's something that, it gives you that feeling every single time. I just feel so blessed every time I get an opportunity to wear that crest.
So you made a change in the NWSL. You changed teams. You got a new coach. You got a new coach with the women's national team, too. So can you kind of share with us how the team is thinking about performing in Paris this summer?
Yeah, it's kind of a similar dynamic with club as well as with the national team, how we kind of got new coaches in the same way. But, so last camp was her first camp, and there's a lot of new information, a lot going on, but I think the group is just so hungry to learn and so hungry to apply, the tactical things that she's wanting, but also still bringing, the culture that made us successful in the past as well.
I think I talked to you a few weeks ago when you did the camp, and now that it's happening and you're there and you're heading there, I think we kind of talked about how the world has caught up a little bit to the United States, that this country was the dominant force in women's soccer for years, and the competition's very different now. So how do you think about the landscape of competing against the world? Yeah,
it's no secret that the world has definitely caught up and maybe even surpassed us, as we saw, and that's just something, we're owning it, but we're hungry. We're hungry to close that gap. We're hungry to get back to where we were, but every single game is going to be a test. It's going to be a test in a different way, and it's good for us. It's going to help the team evolve and get back to where we used to be.
You have an interesting kind of viewpoint here. 2 of the rookies on this team are going to be alternates because they've had such an incredible start to their careers here. The future of the U.S. women's soccer team seems to reside somewhat on this roster here in Washington with Croy and Hal and, of course, Trinity. So it's an interesting dynamic that you're watching kind of take place.
It's honestly, it's really cool to be a part of, and I'm so thankful, to be playing with them here and just watching their growth. But my goodness, I'm so happy to see them rewarded for their outstanding play this season. But I mean, I just look at them, they don't play like rookies at all. They play, well beyond their years. They're playing like veterans already. And the future of the national team, I mean, in very good hands.
Yeah. And with Trinity specifically, what do you see from her? This is your first year working with her. She clearly is a dynamic star of the sport. In working with her day to day, what have you learned about her?
Yeah, it's been such a pleasure to be her teammate, both on and off the field, and just to see, what makes her special. It's easy to see that she's dynamic and all these things, but like she brings, so much more. Like her soccer IQ is incredible, and I wish more people could see that day to day. But
what do you mean by that? What do you see?
Just like tactically, just constantly like, reading, where the space is, how can we exploit things, how can we fix this problem, just constantly. She's got a soccer brain, and I think that's another piece that makes her special. Obviously she's got a lot of physical gifts as well.
Yeah.
She's incredibly fast, incredible finisher, incredibly strong, like all these things. But also like leadership qualities as well. It's something that it's been really cool to see her step up as a leader.
And how about Croy? She seems, ahead of the curve. Consider what she's doing right now. Yeah,
Croy is exceptional. There's no other word to describe her. Just exceptional. Just seeing her from day one and her growth, just in the past few months. But like, my gosh, like she has no limit. She's truly one of a kind, and she's just getting started, which is really cool.
All right, let me ask you a couple things about the Spirit. We are taping this before your last match against Bay FC before the break. So without knowing, obviously, what that result's going to be, how do you kind of see how the team has performed here so far through the first half of the season?
Yeah, I think we've maybe done a little bit better than people thought we were going to, and I think that's pretty cool. But I think it's a huge credit to the coaching staff and the system that they want to play, and just breaking things down for us week after week and constantly pushing the standards. So I think that's been, really, really great. I think the group has been very eager to learn and has just been improving week after week, which has been really great. And we've been rewarded for it with great results. However, we're only halfway through, and we still have some room to grow.
We had a new coach and now another new coach, albeit on the same team, and I would assume preaching the similar disciplines that you guys have started here. How do you think through coming back from a break and there will be a new lead voice in the room?
Yeah, they've kind of already addressed that a little bit with starting the transition now and having Jonah kind of help out and start his role now, so that we can really hit the floor running after the break. But he's already, like, from day one has made us better, just pointing out little things, and his role is bigger and bigger, and I'm just really excited for him to. So
you were already seeing the signs of why he was so successful.
Absolutely.
Where he was. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, the first thing he said was, like, the first pointer he gave us out on the field, like, helped us instantly. It was about when teams are pressing us and how to kind of break that down. But yeah, I mean, it's clear since day one, like, why he's such, like, one of the best coaches in the world, right? So I think he's just going to take this team to new heights as well. Okay,
last thing. We started with the Olympics. Let's end with it. Do you have a key for success for the United States as they go to Paris to take on the world?
Ooh, that key for success. I think just, not riding the highs or lows, just kind of staying grounded. There might be some adversity, but just sticking to the game plan, trusting the tactics, trusting, the game plan, I think. Let's see you in a gold medal. That would look nice. That would be beautiful. Caleb would be very happy about that. Casey, thank you so much. Good luck in Paris, and we'll see you when you get back for the second half of the Spirit season. Thank you so much.
This has been Spirit Spotlight, an official presentation of the Washington Spirit Radio Network. Listen live every Friday afternoon with Bram Weinstein at 3:40 on ESPN 630 in DC and anywhere from the ESPN 630 app.